Hi guys, welcome back. As you can see, it's freezing again, but I'm out here braving the cold. I was supposed to be in this video putting the front brake lines on and getting the front brakes working. The thing about restorations is you can do things and then you realise it's not going to work and you have to move on to another idea. So that joint piece that goes across the mudguard that I painted and then I was going to plate the two ends, I plated them, and if I'm honest, although they looked in really nice condition, one of them just had a few little pit marks in and plated. I kept looking at them thinking they don't look new, and it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work for me anyway, so decided to ditch it. Going to make a new pipe and with two brand new ends on. Little problem, the ends are different to all the brake pipe ends I've got kicking around in my drawers. So I've had to order a pack of them. They haven't turned up yet due to everything that's going on in the world at the minute, so we haven't got them, so I haven't been able to finish that. So I thought I'd move on for this video and we'd put the front brake master cylinder together. So I'll do a quick video doing that, and yeah, we'll go from there. Here's all the bits. So we've got a new master cylinder rebuild kit there. New seals, a new spring, new inner, new dust seal, circlip. We've got those. Then we've got a new brake light switch, a new screw to fasten it in, front brake lever pivot ball with a bolt, should I say, a new lock nut. Then over here, front brake reservoir, the rubber diaphragm, the inner plastic piece that keeps it in shape, the cap, which is aluminium, which I've refinished. That's come out quite nice, I'm pleased with that. And then finally two new screws, and over here mounting bolt for it with a lock nut, the end that goes in the master cylinder that goes to the reservoir, a new o-ring, new clip, and that is the original dust seal. That was in good condition. A lot of these bits are new because everything was missing. We did have this, but the original one, it was so yellow and cracked. Luckily you can still buy new ones and they're fairly cheap as well. So, and they look fantastic as a new one compared to an old one. So we've got that, and we've got some new hose to fit. I'll tell you what the lighter we're going to use the lighter for shortly. Now you might notice there's one thing missing from all these bits to rebuild the front brake master cylinder. The front brake master cylinder. The front brake master cylinder is actually on the bike, which I'll show you. So there's the front brake master cylinder, which has been refinished. Now the reason that's on, normally I'd have rebuilt this on the bench because it's far easier. This bracket, I found a bracket but I was convinced it was bent, which actually it was. Got this bracket from Japan, so I've refinished that. I had to mount all this on to see where the reservoir sat, to see if it actually sat in the right place, which I'm pleased to say it does. So I'm not going to take it back off, because if I take it back off you're going to risk cracking all the paint off and everything else, and like I say, it's so cold. So I'm going to try and rebuild it there, which it's doable. It's just, it would have been nicer on the bench, but hey ho. Sometimes you got to mock stuff up, make sure everything fits and everything, and then leads you to problems like this afterwards. But never mind, we'll manage. So I've got the front brake master cylinder piston with the seal on. We've got the spring. I'm going to put that little cup on there. Get that pushed on, give it a little bit of a twist so the little rubber nipple in the end goes into the end of the spring. So that's on. I'm going to take the circlip. What we're going to do is, come on, there we go. I'm going to take you over to the bike and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to apply a smidgen of brake fluid on here. Like I say, I'm using a .5, which is a silicone base, so it doesn't harm any paint. So for all those that are going, oh, you're touching everything, don't worry, it won't take any paint off, so we haven't to worry about that. So that's got a little bit of brake fluid on that. I'm going to do the same with the main seal. A bit round there. Then it's a bit tricky because everything's in the way. The spring goes in first. So we push the spring in. Then we take the piston. We're going to insert the piston up in there as well. There we go. It's all in now, so it's plunging in and out now. Now the next job to do, we're going to take the circlip. The circlip locks all that in place, so we're going to use a pair of circlip pliers. That allows me to squeeze that up and go down inside there. And because when I fitted all this, I didn't think I was going to be making videos doing it, and I never thought about trying to show it on camera. Not thinking about it, obviously fitting the master cylinder has made it very difficult to show you. So all I'm doing here is, because I can't get the circlip pliers in because of all this, and I don't want to have to take it all off again, now it's in place, I'm just pushing that circlip down into place, into its little groove, being very careful with this little pick. I'm not going anywhere near any seals or anything like that, so for those of you that are thinking, oh, it's going to damage the seals inside the cylinder, we can't hurt it, and I'm literally just pushing that circlip down the hole and letting it click into its slot. And there we go, I don't know if you heard that, but it just clicked in. That's nicely in its slot now. I'm going to slide the dust seal over. Again, I'm just going to apply, a little bit of the vegetable oil just on that edge, because that'll help it seat onto the end of the piston. There we go. Now using a socket, nice round edges, it can't damage anything. I'm going to just slide that over like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly push that socket in, and what that'll do is it'll just push that rubber dust seal down to its seating place. If you can see there, so the piston's now in with its rubber seal on. I'll try and zoom in for you. So there we go. That's in, rubber seals over the edge. Try and hold it steady for you, so that's in. So we've got the elbow piece now that goes from the top of the master cylinder that will go up to the reservoir. We've just slipped on the new O-ring onto the end there, and what I'm going to do is I've just put a little bit of brake fluid on there. Again, it's a .5, it doesn't hurt any paintwork, so as you can see I've got it everywhere. That'll just help lubricate it so it goes into its seat. So we're going to push that in there like that, very carefully. There we go. Again, circlip pliers, circlip. We're going to fit this, and that'll keep that all locked in. A little dust seal, and slide that over the edge, round, And that's him. As you can see, it's free to move. What we're going to do now is we're going to mount the reservoir on the top, and then we're going to get a piece of pipe cut that goes between there and there. This bracket's already been tightened up, so this bracket's tight there. All this, as I say, is already torqued up and fastened on. New reservoir cup. There's a little mounting lug just there that fits into this little fork at the end. It's a nice new bolt. And I've already applied a little bit of copper slip just to stop it ever seizing up. There's no torque setting for this, so, and that washer on the top there actually goes all the way through, so it's a spacer, so it stops that rubber being completely crushed up. So we'll just nip that up till you feel it go tight. So what we've got to do now is measure a piece of pipe from there to there. So there's a brake hose cut. This is proper brake hose as well. It's got a material on the it's got a material on the outside. So what we're going to do is, I've already done one end. What'll happen is, because we've cut this, that'll start to fray on the, sorry, look at the camera. This will start to fray on the end. And we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do with this is, if I can operate a lighter. Oh no. No. I'll go and get another one. I'm back. So there we go, it's working. So what I'm going to do is, just going to hold the end of the pipe just in it. Just a little bit. Dab it down with my finger like that. And it's just enough, maybe a little bit more. There we go. It's just enough that it'll stop the edge from fraying. That's all we want. I'm just going to slide it down to about there. And that's on. So, next thing, brake lever. Pivot bolt, just going to put a little bit of general purpose grease. Nice little smear on there. I'm just going to put that on there. We're also going to put a bit just on the end there. That's where the brake lever makes contact with the end of the master cylinder piston. Just put a little bit on there like that. Slide that in. Gonna in the hole there. There we go. Make sure you've got the biggest screwdriver possible, and then very carefully screw it into it. It's not tight. There's no reason to chew it up. It's not tight at all. Let's see if you can see that. So just go to there. So there, it's. So at the minute it's reacting against the piston and the spring that's in there. There's no brake fluid in there obviously yet. You can hear the brake light switch working. So all we're going to do with this is, you've got it to the point where it's nipped, where it's just gone tight, and then all we're going to do is just going to give it a little tiny. That's it. That's nothing more than that, because anything more than that, you're going to chew the end up. And then what we're going to do is I like my copper slip because it stocks everything seasoned up. So what we're going to do is just going to apply a little bit of copper slip to the end of the thread underneath there. And then there, with a nice new lock nut. So I've just put the new lock nut under there. I'm just going to check the torque setting for that, and then we'll get that torqued up. So I've just checked, there's no torque setting for that, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip it up till it's tight. Just hold. Now again, we have to be very careful not to mark it. That's the handle in. Now, although it's not finished, because it still needs the hoses connecting, like I say, but I want to get all these other loose bits out of the way, so got a new diaphragm with a new internal piece that fits in there like that. They line up with the cup. I'll lose the screws. Two new screws. I'm not going to tighten them up, but I am loosely just going to screw them in just so it doesn't all fall apart. Like I say, it's to finish off, so I'm not going to tighten them up. I'm just going to, just in enough so it doesn't fall off at the minute. So there we go, guys. It was just a quick video to show you a little bit of progress on the bike. Like I said at the beginning, I was hoping to get the pipes done, but I'm still waiting for bits for that. I'll carry on. Hopefully I'll get that done for the next video. I was doing 2 videos a week, every Sunday night, well, uploading them every Sunday night for you and every Wednesday night, but with work and everything it's proving a little too much, so I'm going to aim to do one every Wednesday night now, and I'll upload it at 7 o'clock as I have been with all the others. So yeah, please hit the notification bell and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.